It's me, Remy, the comic book poster. I'm here today to welcome you to enter the Poserverse. I need to make sure that, we can get picture-in-picture of Soul, because I saw his dancing in the window below, and it was hot. But welcome. It is Shop Talk. It is Thursday night. It is slightly after 9:30. I was all set up and ready to go, and then I went, I don't have the poster pile. I left it upstairs in my bedroom. So, let's talk about that poster pile. I'll vamp for a second and see if anybody else on the panel who's not me and Soul Twice who's going to be silent and drawing something dope that I'm probably going to buy tonight. Because it's one of my fucking favorite things in the world. But I want to show off the poster pile. So, if you have not yet commented on Tuesday's pull list video about scary books and spooky vibes, then make sure you do so. Here are the books that you're going to get. So, I have not read this one yet, but this is Catwoman number 43. This is going to be a hard one for me to let go of, because y'all know how much I love Jenny Frison covers. It's a hot cover. So even if you're like, I don't give a shit about Catwoman, if you don't like Jenny Frison covers, then I don't think we can be friends. Whoops. Silk number 5. This is Marvel's Asian Pacific Islander variant that Marvel or the Asian Heritage Month variant that both Marvel and DC have those coming out this month. I really like this a lot. I don't know who did that cover. I'll look it up. Flash number 782. Why? Because my shop gave me 2 of them in my pull list, and I was like, okay, fine. I'll put that in the pile. One of the books that we're going to talk about tonight, whether or not, Jellyfinger shows up, we got A Town Called Terror, book number 2. I Hate This Place, number 1, another book that we are talking about this evening. And my shop, everywhere has sold out of Savage Avengers. So if you watch my pull list video and I was like, I'm going to try and buy every single goddamn cover in the world, my LCS owner texted me and he was like, there are a lot of people who want it. Can I sell them yours? And I was like, fine, knowing that I can cash that favor in later. But I will try and grab another Savage Avengers to throw in here with the rest of the books. But we'll say what's up to the folks who are here in the chat. And then I'll bring on our live artist for tonight, where I won't spoil what he's drawing. But I really get excited about a couple of things. And maybe I'll tilt my camera a little bit this way and you can see the hot mess that's right behind me. But some of you know what that top shelf is. So if you know, you know. But, we got David Reese in the house. Uh-oh, I almost put him in timeout. But we got Big Dave in the house. We got Auntie M, who it's tomorrow there today, living it up in Hong Kong. That she had some fun tech videos that popped up the last 2 days. That's the one thing I hate about trying to comment on videos at school, that if I'm logged in as me, I can't. If I'm logged in as Comic Book Poser, I can't comment on things. But if I'm logged in as me, Dustin Remy, Topeka High School employee, then I can comment on things, and not everybody knows that me is me. But I got some comments to drop on Auntie M stuff, that there are some fun things going on. But she's dropping those channel member stickers. But what's going on? She's not part of the Bayou family. So now that means we have to fight for some Sassycajun giveaways every now and then. Alright. We'll bring in tonight's featured artist. Y'all enjoyed him last week. Y'all saw the heat that he put together, and then even he dropped some just test art for you that I liked the this book is busted, so I'm going to show you what I'm piecing together. But welcome back. Who's going to, I think, draw with us every Thursday night, unless he's got something else going on. Soul Twice. What's going on, brother?
What it do, Pikachu? Good to see you. Soul Twice coming through.
That's why I skipped your comment at the top of the chat, because I knew you would start with a what it do Pikachu, and I couldn't.
I mean, that's the only way to greet people. It's the only correct way, the only polite way to begin the day, man.
That's true. So how's your week treating you?
Oh, you know what? My week sucked, man. I had to put my dog down the other day. On Monday, I had to say goodbye to Darth Chewy.
That's
I had him 16 years, man, since he was 2 weeks old. It was a great little chihuahua. He lived a good long life.
Not suffering anymore.
Exactly, man. I made my peace with it. I'm happy that he's okay now. But you know, it was something I was preparing myself for. So that was my little buddy, though.
I don't have a floor that I want to dump on, but
no. But for Chewy, just have a drink for it, man. Thank you, dog.
We'll pour one out for Dog Chewy, and then maybe I'll drink that later in his honor.
Awesome, man. It sounds great, man. Well, but like, other than that, like, I've been looking forward to drawing here live for you. I'm gonna start from scratch today, since I didn't do it last time just because I didn't think I would have enough time to finish. But I'm gonna do. You guys were talking about it. You guys were talking about crossover so much that I decided I'm gonna bust out a crossover cover. And as per request of Mr. Jellyfingers, who is not here today, I'm going to be drawing a Ninja Turtle, which is something that I've always loved, but I hardly draw recently. I haven't drawn one in a while, but I'm going to draw my favorite turtle. Well, actually, my favorite turtle is Leonardo. I'm going to draw him. I like him because he has two swords, like Deadpool. I don't like his philosophy about being a leader all the time, but I wish he was more like Raphael, but have two swords, if that makes sense.
That's so sometimes he was willing to depart from his code.
Yeah, dude.
Where he'll lead, but sometimes you gotta break some eggs to make an omelet.
Sometimes you got to, man. But like, I always thought it was kind of like unfortunate that he has the best weapons. He has the two katanas, right? But like, I started watching the cartoons when it first came out, man. That was my favorite show. I was always like, how is this guy gonna like do anything? Because he can't obviously slice somebody in the cartoon, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he was always playing defense with the swords, which was never made sense to me, man. But like I was always like, might as well just have had a stick or a bow like Donatello, because he could never slice somebody up unless it was a mouser or it was some kind of like some kind of inanimate object. So anyways, I'm gonna draw like Leonardo today. I found a good reference, and I'm gonna do my best to soul twice-alize it.
I'm excited to see that, and I agree with you that I think Leonardo could get a bit more of a hard edge. If you haven't read The Last Ronin, with the Leo dies issue, he goes out swinging.
Oh, that's dope.
But I'm excited to see the new Turtles event coming out this summer. It's called the Armageddon Game, and if it's drawn like the Free Comic Book Day preview, it's old school Eastman and Laird black and white style. Dope. So we'll see what it looks like, but I'm excited to see your take on that. And we do have a Jelly in the background. Jelly says he's got no power, but he's on his phone. Is that right, boss?
Yeah, we had a bad storm roll through here, so it's no power for right now.
Did you hear what Soul's drawn for you tonight?
Yeah, turtle.
Yep, I'm gonna draw a turtle. Turtle.
I like turtles. Oh no, I think I deleted the auction videos, so I'll look for that throughout the night, but we'll do like we did last week. You can flip your computer around. We're not going to pester you with a bunch of questions and let you...
And then later on, I'll show you guys what I have for my Friday raffle. I'll show you guys a little later on.
Ooh, you got that link?
Oh, no, I never have links, man. I'm never prepared.
Okay. Well, you were last week.
Oh,
Oh, but you
I haven't
did
made it yet.
forwards.
I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post it tomorrow, man. So
Okay, then I'll change the soul link to just your IG profile.
that'll be great, man. All right, I'm gonna
Dope.
go ahead and flip my camera around. All right, go ahead and take over, and please entertain me while I entertain you.
Yeah, we're excited to see what you do. All right, so the theme of this week was to focus on some things that... Where did I put... Oh, it's in my backpack. Some things that we knew we either were hyped up about, we have heard or seen hype about, or in Jelly's case, I bullied him to read a book that he was kind of sick of. So if you saw the thumbnail or were with us last week, the 3 books that we're going to focus on this week is A Town Called Terror, and we're going to do number 1 and number 2, because number 1 was in Jelly's top reads of April that we didn't get time to read. Of course, after interviewing David, we would have to talk about Savage Avengers number 1. And then the 3rd book is I Hate This Place number 1, that I was excited for something like this, but a little sad that the title changed from I Fuck This Place to I Hate This Place. And Jelly was a little skeptical of the trope that played out. So the question that I pushed Jelly's way was, is this beating the dead horse, or did it do something that you liked? Hey, we got Steve Hayner in the house. We got Steve Alcoin in the house, where, Steve, you can see a little bit of your crocodile or your alligator head peeking out back here. We got Chaos in the house, who I was a little... Oh, the other cover had fuck on it? I'm going to have to find that one then. But we got Chaos in the house. I know Steve loves some turtles. Yeah, go Dodgers. My Royals got the shit kicked out of them by Lou Bob today. Not all of the White Sox, just Lou Bob. We got Auntie M dropping my favorite, fuck Namor, or fuck Aquaman emoji. We got Chaos going with he has to push buttons to make the accents show up with the Sauvage Avenger. Is that the right way to do it? But yeah, so which one do you want to start with? Please don't say A Town Called Terror, because I'll find my copy of number 1 and try and show off the art as you talk about it. So you want to talk Savage Avengers or I Hate This Place?
Well, do you want to start off on a good note or a bad note?
I kind of enjoyed both of them.
Okay.
So you pick your good note.
Okay. So surprisingly, my good note's going to be I Hate This Place.
Okay.
I was it's different so far.
Yeah.
It's not the same old, oh, it's a haunted house and look what this haunted house has. It's more than that. I guess it's more of like a property. It's the surrounding areas. It's
like it's got Stillwater vibes. Like,
oh, so yeah, I like that's
you don't
I love
know
me
if
some
it's
chips
the
at our
land,
Steve.
if it's a town, like if it's the property. It's not just the creepy house in the woods, like the solicitation makes it read. It's
it's
everywhere
more.
You go, we're fucked.
Yeah, and you can't leave.
Yeah.
So I was digging it. I only had a couple of kind of like things I didn't get, like when they kind of in the middle of the night get woken up by what appears to be like the Night of the Living Dead against their windows.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a big freak out. It was kind of like, let's go to the VCR room and let's watch this video. And, and then her great aunt's telling her about this property. Oh, there's a poltergeist that lives in the house. You don't really have to be too worried about him, but you have to be worried about everyone outside. And, and all this stuff. And then they wake up in the morning and the one girl's packing and the other one's like, oh no, we're staying.
Yeah.
Like that's all you thought about what happened? Oh no, we're going to stick to our plan. We're going to sell this place in a year and we'll just go on about our merry way.
Yeah. So
if
you didn't read the book, the premise of it is that the couple on the front, the white gal inherited this property from her aunt, who she vaguely remembers reading as a child or meeting as a child, but not much since then. And
even that meeting as a child was super suspicious.
Yeah.
Like, how would that not be a major thing in your childhood if that stuff happened to you?
Yeah. But, like, it had that Stillwater vibe, right? Because they're at a gas station. They're like, hey, our GPS is having trouble finding this place. And the gas station clerk's like, are you some of them weird UFO folks?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I just inherited it. And I loved how her response was like, get used to some weird UFO folks. But, like, one of them is excited to now run a cattle farm. The other one, you've learned, has been like a doomsday prepper. Or was like raised as a doomsday prepper, and she's like, oh, this is perfect. It's in the middle of nowhere. And
like they're both super jazzed about getting there.
Yeah. As they tour the house, Jelly alluded to the video room. I like how they find something that, think of it as like the equivalence in size of like a washroom that gets added on to the front of a house. That it's very small, that it's a crawl space like room.
To me, it almost looked like a room kind of under a stairway.
Yeah.
Like it's a real small room.
And the wall is like, they learn that the space is soundproof. And in there's a TV, a VCR, and then apparently every single episode of The Facts of Life. And they're like, this is kind of weird, but like, cool, I guess. What's this room for?
Yeah, well, this is weird, but I'm super jacked. I got The Facts of Life.
Yeah. And as they are exploring everything, right in the middle of the night, something wakes them up, and it's the cows going crazy. I'm going to swap me and Soul twice for a second. And as she goes out, you see that she's touched by someone, and it transports her to being like stuck in the middle of a train track. And as she's freaking out, that's where she gets back to the house and wakes up her significant other, and they find the Watch Me tape from her dead aunt, where it's you're trapped here, you're safe here, you can't leave here, I don't know why. There's a ghost butler. Don't go in the woods at night.
There's a ghost Mr. Belvedere.
Oh, yeah. There's a ghost Mr. Belvedere. And, like, the suggestion on how to deal with him was don't leave anything out that he can use to write on a surface.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. He'll write on the walls.
Okay. And, I mean, you want to tell everybody who may not have been here last week what your either fear was with the series or the trope that you were tired of, that the solicitation and paragraph of this comic was based off of?
So the solicitation, I can't remember, but it was, there's been 5 books out in the last 5 months that have had a very similar premise to the solicitation. And it was just getting. I feel like it kind of started with Homesick Pilots a little bit, and then there was a couple other ones that it was just kind of like, all right, it's a haunted house, like it's going to be wacky and this and that, and
Yeah.
it was just kind of, I just don't care about seeing it. And then when this book started, I was like, I don't know, lesbian couple heading to the haunted house, but then, like you said, they kind of stopped at the gas station. The locals they're weird, and you're going to the Rutherford farm. They've been seeing UFOs and everything else up there. Good luck. And it had very much Stillwater vibes. And so I was already kind of like, okay, all right, I'm kind of digging this. I love Stillwater.
And I think one of the things that you, me, and now Speak of the Devil that is here in the background, J1, that we appreciated with the premise of Nice House on the Lake is that nobody knew what they were getting into. And, we were kind of afraid that, like, we all appreciated the Me You Love in the Dark, where it was like, are these women getting into this house where they are now dealing with a paranormal phenomenon that they know about and will coexist with. So I agree that I think it did a good job of kind of taking the trope of spooky house that you don't know what's what, who's in charge, what the threat is, and turning it on their head. And like, I like this in the same way that I enjoyed Zenoscope's Possessive, where you had that dude who was like midlife crisis, buys a house, and then he falls in love with the haunted woman who exploits him, and it like destroys his family and shit.
Yeah, reverse scope.
Yeah. I'm making pottery.
Yeah, making sweet pottery. I will say this book though, it felt familiar, but it also felt kind of fresh.
I agree with that.
It was it was kind of a comfortable read, but there's a lot of questions that I have now, and I know if I read a book and I have questions that I want answered, and I have several of them, then that's when I knew I read something good, and I'm going to stick with it.
No, and I think I'm definitely there too. And Toad Nagar, who's a new name to me, so thank you for joining us tonight. We also like the Me You Love in the Dark, and I think we all kind of enjoyed how it got progressively darker.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that will probably happen in this one a little bit. Like, you could see by the end of this issue where there was a little bit of divergence in how these two women wanted to either try and leave or, like, no, the tape said we're okay.
Yeah.
That I want to see how this adds stress to their relationship. Because even before the ghost showed up, you could see some divergence from their plan, right? That apparently the original plan was to fatten the herd of cattle that they had, sell them off, and then sell the land.
Yep.
And then, the gal who inherited it was like, no, I'm going to love this. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
So that's a dynamic that I want to watch over time. Because I think it's going to get interesting. And I don't know how many issues this is, but I could tell by the first one that this could be a singular 6-issue arc and be nice and clean that way.
I think you're right on that. I think we got far enough into the story that there's some good questions to be answered, and they're not something that's going to need really long story to do. So I have high hopes this is going to be a really nice series.
Hi, Oscar. Hi, Kenneth.
Oh, Kenneth, what's up, bro?
I hope you're having a good night as well, sir. J1, did you read I Hate This Place?
No, sir, I'm sorry.
You're no shame. I'm not. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
I was, dude. I hadn't been to the comic book store in about a week and a half, and I finally got there today, and their new comic book day was decimated.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to get a single thing that I was really trying to get, which was very sad.
Fair. But I think this is an issue for those of you who are like, I don't know if I was going to pick this up. If Jelly, who was the most skeptical of this book, was like, no, it's definitely worth checking out, like, you knew that this would have to be egregiously terrible for me to hate it from the premise. That I'm not as quite as this has been beaten to death as Jelly is. But I'm definitely intrigued to see what issue number 2 looks like.
I would say this is, depending on what they do with it, if it's a good book for trade, I'm going to buy single issues just because I want to read them right away. I don't think there's going to be any value in this, like collector-wise or resale-wise. I don't see it being anything. Yeah, but I mean, it's a good read if you just want to have a good read.
I think I agree with that. That, like, even if you think of this as a spec value in terms of, like, could this be optioned? Maybe. But I think we could all name 3 or 4 stories in the same kind of arc.
That's what I mean. There's
that
just
would do the same kind of thing better.
Yeah, the market's flooded with those right now, but it's still a good story. It's still well done.
Yeah. I definitely don't feel like I set $4 on fire buying this one.
No.
Okay. All right. So we'll talk about book number 2, and then we'll put Town Called Terror at the end because I'm gonna assume Jelly liked issue number 2 as much as he did number 1.
I think I liked it even more.
Okay. Then I'll give my take on Savage Avengers. So it was about a month ago that Oscar says he's enjoying a beer and watching Soul twice. I hope you saw me. Cheers, you. Soul Steve Alcoin, good Florida man, says he's going to collect a pile of blanks to send you so you can sketch a cover for him. Yep. I think you will like that Steve, you've commented on any post or video where I've shown off Soul stuff that you know what he does, and I'm excitedly watching this turtle the whole time.
Yeah. It's looking good so far.
Yeah. I like the good
Don't fuck it up, man.
Oh.
That's not there. Okay.
All right. So, book number 2 that we're going to talk about this week is Savage Avengers, that we interviewed David, a month? 6 weeks ago now? And the book's been pushed back a couple of times, and it finally came out this week. It is Donnie White Tiger. So we're all excited that you missed Soul talking at the beginning about how Donnie is his favorite turtle, or not Donnie. Leonardo. It's Leonardo. Jesus, it's Leonardo. It's not Donatello. I'm biased towards Donatello. He is Team Leonardo, and my brain just shut down.
Definitely a Raphael guy.
There you go. Wait, J1, do you like Michelangelo? Does that complete the team now?
Oh yeah.
It seems like he would like Michelangelo, actually.
There you go. Hey, Funko Brothers. Welcome. And then Soul Oscar says, when you're done, show off the gunslinger spawn that you did for him. So we'll check that out. But I'm going to make Soul tiny for a minute so I can show off Savage Avengers. So we interviewed David, and this is the beginning of a new run of Savage Avengers that the 2 constants on the team from the end of Jerry Duggan's run were Conan and then Elektra, but now he gets to play with Elektra Daredevil. We get the addition of Anti-Venom, Cloak and Dagger, Black Knight. I was like Ebony Blade. That's not right. And Weapon H, and they are dealing with an army of Deathlocks from the future. So what happens within the first couple of pages is that you learn that somebody has shown up out of nowhere to kind of disrupt the realm that they are in, and then Conan is doing what Conan do, straight up cutting a bunch of people with swords. And you've learned that in each of these, iterations of each character, right, they're not quite the team yet, right? That everybody is kind of dealing with their own missions, that Conan is going after a cult, Anti-Venom's going through Alchemax Labs, Elektra is tearing up Hell's Kitchen, that they're doing a bunch of things, and then out of nowhere, Deathlock shows up to basically accuse Conan of crimes against the time stream, and Conan's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what a time stream is.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming like the multiverse and all of the Loki stuff, like all of that stuff. And I'm like, Conan's like, I don't know what's happening. I was like, I mean, my dog, the beginning of the last volume, or the beginning of the first volume of Jerry Duggan's Realm, you were like, how the fuck did I end up here? I'm Conan and this isn't my home. But you get these little vignettes of meeting each member of the team, and as they're all kind of showing up together, the premise is that somebody has stolen and is detonating what they call a madness bomb.
No, Mad Bomb.
Oh, Mad Bomb. I thought it was Madness.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, it was such a bad thing to call it.
It's a mad bomb that is basically fucking with the emotions of everybody. And as kind of Conan is battling Deathlock in this issue, essentially everybody slowly is coming together, right? And you get kind of the team building and them fighting all against Deathlock, where you know that he, like, just like Taskmaster can just, like, watch somebody and adapt to their shit, like, Deathlock, you hit him, and the nanites can adjust themselves to dealing with whatever attack that you front them with, right? It's like attacking Bloodshot without the protein. So, when we interviewed David, he got all of us very excited, right? That he raised the bar fairly high. So, I tried when reading this in asking I asked myself two different questions, right? In the same way that we read Jurassically, like Dinosaur fucking Batman last week. Because it was in every single DC book for a month. We all kind of did, I asked myself the same question here, like, if I had not interviewed David and had seen this ad a million times and been loosely familiar with the Savage Avengers and decided to pull the story, what would I think of it? And then the second question I asked myself is that David raised the bar fairly high, right, in terms of how much he hyped up the story.
Mm-hmm.
Does he meet his bar? And I think my answer to both questions are, yes, I'm glad I picked this up if I didn't interview David. My question of, is it worth the hype, is, it depends on issue number 2. I like how we get a coming together of this new team. Like, I would feel like if in this book, where everybody was like, oh, high five, we all know each other, like, let's all fight together as a unit, I don't think I would have bought that. would I have, if I would be like, I want more of an individual Weapon H or more of an individual Black Knight or Cloak and Dagger kind of story, then that would lengthen this issue number 1 to a trade paperback in and of itself. So I think for trying to introduce a new team dynamic against a new threat, and then I'm going to click on this guy for a second. And then transport them to Conan's homeland at the end of the issue. And Conan's like, I never thought I would be back here again. I think it does a good enough job of planting seeds in issue number 1. Where I'm willing to give David a little bit of a hype pass is he's going to know the scripts that he's turned in up to this point. He's going to know how he's shaped the universe. He's going to know how everything is plotted out. And I think, he's excited about his long-term vision, and we have the first piece of that right now. I do think doing little vignettes to basically introduce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters into what they've been up to, plus adding the addition to Deathlock to this mix, it becomes a lot to consume in 28 pages. But I have seen people take on the same kind of task and fuck it up quite terribly. So, do I feel disappointed? No. Do I feel like, basically in the same way that we've talked about other issues, this places a higher bar for me on issue number 2. That issue number 2 needs to deliver a bit more clarity. That in the same way if the first Avengers movie would have been delivered as an absolute clusterfuck because we don't have enough elements of the characters from their individual movies, like, I want to see if things become more cohesive in number 2. I know that most of what I've seen on social media is that number 1 was selling out all over the place. That number 1, that there's a lot of praise for it, but I know that Jelly has some skepticism to it. I know that based on that comment, Taylor, not a big fan of it. So I'm interested in hearing some dissenting voices, since, the internet seems to be overwhelmingly unified in praise.
Okay. Well, I've got plenty of stuff to say about this book. So if you read the first run, Jerry Duggan's run, he puts the team together well. I felt like, and the artwork in this book is incredible.
Yes.
Absolutely stunning. Incredible. I'm excited for Deathlock. I think he picked the right villain for this.
Yeah.
There is a lot of latitude with Deathlock. That being said, he spent probably a good third of the book on a fight with Conan and stuff that is not even going to be in the rest of the arc. There was no point in 10 action pages of this fight for no reason. And then
the Deathlock fight or the cult stuff at the beginning?
The cult stuff at the beginning.
Okay.
It was just I don't know, just what's his name, Carlos flexing his skills, which he's got the chops for sure. Yeah. But they rushed into the team. There was no I still don't know how they came together. You know, Black Knight's sitting in a bar that Weapon H is out getting mugged, and Cloak and Dagger are all, I mean, they're all sitting within a block of each other and doing their own thing. I don't know. It's just, it was, I don't know. I felt like it was a really hacky way to get the team together. I don't know. I was not, I feel like none of the people have been even slightly developed as to what their reason is to be on this team.
Yeah.
You know, like they just kind of slapped them together, right? Like Terry Duggan's run, he kind of, you know, coaxes everybody into it. Like, here's so-and-so, here's why they're here. And it was just, I don't know. It was just a giant action scene. I realize it's a Marvel book, but I don't know. I just was not happy with it. And it's like, I know, like, I would not even read the second issue if we didn't talk to David already.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a bigger story here at play, and it's a story that I want to hear. But after that first issue, ooh.
I can agree with what you said about the cult, unless the cult becomes one of these timeless things, kind of like The Hand does, where it's a group that exists across time. Then maybe there's some payoff there. I think...
Yes, possibly.
Yeah. I liked the Weapon H, Dane Whitman turning into Black Knight kind of thing, because you see, like, Weapon H has that monologue of just like, I just want to fucking be left alone. I want to go do my own thing.
So, yeah, so the character I'm most invested in right now is Weapon H.
Yeah. Well, like, I liked, the same thing is true with Dane Whitman for me, though, where he's like, you know why he's itching to take a good path. You know that the curse of the Ebony Blade will drag him in directions, and I think confronting the mugging puts him in something. But then everybody else, I just think they hero up at the moment that they all end up converging together. That I mean, like
the dialogue for like Flash Thompson, I couldn't even follow, like, what the hell was he talking about? Like, it was this, I don't know, it just like almost didn't make sense to me. It's like did we join you halfway through a conversation you're having with yourself or something? Like, I'm kind of confused. I mean, the Cloak and Dagger thing kind of made sense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was, you know, oh shit, is, you know, Cloak gonna finally tell Dagger he's in love with her? And, you know, I mean, like, they've teased that for, you know, a billion years, but
yeah.
I'm so happy I didn't read this, because usually Jelly is never this brutal on a book.
I know. And
he's just like, it was trash.
I know. I'm usually pretty pragmatic about it, but I don't know. This it almost pissed me off. It was just, I just thought it was really poorly put together. Like, I don't know if it was the editing of it or...
I mean, I just think it's the challenge of trying to create a bond between that many characters in that short of a page.
But I don't know if he's just like, you know what, this number one's going to be a throwaway. I just got to get this team together and then we're off to the races. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Because it just seemed like, okay, we got to get all these guys together fighting Deathlock right off the bat.
Here's what Taylor said, because you might not be able to see it because you're on your phone. I dislike the omniscient narrator. I can see that.
I actually didn't mind the narration. That was better than the dialogue.
The tiny hands on Deathlock. I need to go back and look at that.
Okay. Now I need to watch. When I get power back, I need to look at that.
The disjointed style of the story, which we both talked about.
Yeah.
The characterization of certain characters, the Black Knight. I want to know, Taylor, because I know how deep a lot of your knowledge goes. What specifically turned you off about Black Knight? Since I was kind of intrigued by him getting thrown into that Weapon H mugging.
I'm gonna guess that it had to do with him just like randomly saying, "Oh, I'll figure this out because I'm a scientific genius."
Yeah, I'm drunk and
or
have
technological genius. Oh, you are?
Yeah. And then it felt clunky. Yeah. I agree with that, but I think where I'm willing to give David a little bit of a pass, regardless of whether or not he interviewed him, is like, even with Jerry Duggan's setup of the team, I feel like it took until issue 3 to get solid investment of why, like, everybody was there and why. But I feel like issue 1 and 2 were a little bit neater. So, like, issue number 1 tries to bring the team together with the threat of the Mad Bomb and Deathlock showing up out of nowhere, apparently, with tiny hands.
Can I tell you how much I hated the word Mad Bomb? Like,
yes.
What a... Oh, I just can't. I mean, I don't want to... But it was just like just such a hacky little thing. Oh, they're planting the Mad Bomb that's going to make everybody go mad. Like, oh, God, okay.
I want to hear your 50s newscaster voice.
Yeah, it was, oh, boy. It just, like, if this issue never happened, I'd be happy. Like, I'm going to read 2, but...
Hey, Mr. Techbot. Mr. Techbot says, awesome artistry here. Tech, if you've not seen Soul Twice's art, I'll show off a couple of completed pieces in a minute. But last week, when Soul was like, I don't know if I can complete 3 things, that he had 2 sketches done. And by the end of the show, had inked, colored, and then started a cooldown image. Yeah. By the time we were like, hey, what are you doing now, Soul?
Yeah, so, he's like practicing.
Yeah, I really like watching this from start. That
yeah, I do too.
Leo is coming together quite nicely, so I wanna keep tracking the evolution. Like, I'm at some point just kind of want to shut up and watch him.
Yeah, I'm actually loving how the Turtles is coming out with your style.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost kind of makes me feel, if you put a lot more shade lines in there, it'd be very Eastman-esque.
Taylor says, Black Knight has always been a cocky jackass that's kind of a screw-up and rather stupid. Him being a Moby bar drunk just didn't fit. I can see that. I gotta go back and look at, because the last time we really saw a lot of Black Knight in the last couple of months was like the 2 instances of him in King in Black, where it felt like we were getting a new introduction of Dane Whitman, like, landing in his fate. So I can see that criticism from someone who has been reading and consuming comics as long as Taylor has, and that's the polite way.
I don't mind how Taylor's old.
Nope, did we lose Jelly?
It looks like it.
I heard I don't mind, and then he went out.
I think he committed seppuku over the comic.
I need to go back and look at where that old Kirby story is then with the Mad Bomb, because I think that was the other thing that it felt like it leaned on, was picking up a relic of the past and just being like, they found this at, was it Osborne or is it Osborne Spider-Punk? I read a lot of Marvel today, and it all kind of mashed together, but like, I can see, you know, where Jelly and Taylor's critiques are. Like I said, knowing what I've seen David pull off in all of his other books, Captain America 190s or so. I'll look at that when I go to bed then.
I get it.
But I'm cautiously optimistic on this one because I think that's a lot to put together in an issue, especially like Weapon H has been mostly irrelevant for a couple of years, I feel. Cloak and Dagger is whenever somebody wants to blow the dust off of them. But we've seen, you know, massive changes to Elektra and her Daredevil storyline. We've seen some play with Dane Whitman and Black Knight in The King in Black. Yep. And the same thing is true with Flash and Anti-Venom. That part of me wants to go back and see if I can look at how we've seen some changes in how these characters have been presented in King in Black or in Devil's Reign, to see if I can connect some dots, because I get all of those criticisms, and I think issue number 2 for me will kind of dictate where I feel that I can honestly see where everybody who has outright been like, I love this, it's a slam dunk. Mm-hmm. I can see some of the things they're pointing to, you know, for what Taylor and Jelly have both said, you know, those connected to some of my, like, yes ands of, like, I feel like to really see if I can sort through it, I would have to read this issue number 1, you know, 2 or 3 times. And on just the sheer magnitude and the number of books that came out this week for me, I don't have the extra time to do that a couple of times. That I'll give it the 2-3 issue test.
Well, that's all you can do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm on this. It's going to be second, third issue, and well, probably second issue. If it doesn't get better second issue, this might end up being a trade pickup for me if I hear more of the story.
I could see that. You know, I'm stubborn enough to be like, yeah, I'll give it the 3-issue test. And I'll be like, oh, there are only 3 more in the first arc. I guess I'll buy it in singles. Because I punish myself that way. But I can see it. But I like the idea of if they hop back to Conan's homeworld, and we didn't see that in the previous arc.
Well, that's how the story ended up.
Oh.
They ended up back in his homeland, so.
In Duggan's run or in this issue?
This issue.
Right. So if the story ends that way, and Conan's initial reaction is like, I never thought I would be back here again. Instead of being like Conan rolling around swinging that big old Dick Fight Island dong, and he has to figure out. So I think that adds an interesting layer that could recenter the team around Conan, or it becomes a new layer of the onion that becomes challenging to play with. So I can see where David is excited to be able to play with as many different stories as he did. I really feel like to have pulled this off and created a successful team and corporation, that this needed to be a double-sized issue number 1. which we know Marvel's not going to do
Yeah.
unless it's a legacy issue of a series. So
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that unless it's Spider-Man.
yeah. So I think some of that may be out of his control, but then I feel like when we look at, the second and or the third issue, then, I think the number of excuses or me crafting apologies, to do could basically go away. Before we talk A Town Called Terror, if there's anybody else who wants to, J1 or Jelly, you want to vamp for a second while I drop the link in the chat, because I don't know if I've seen this pop up from the spam bot recently.
Ooh. I'm kind of... I'll tell you, the only one I really got to read that I was interested in talking about, that I wanted to see if you guys read and see what you thought, was Twig.
Oh yeah, we both jerked that book off hardcore last week.
I figured as much. But wait, I was here last week.
Did you hop in late?
I don't know now. Now you're making me second guess myself.
There's the link if you all haven't commented on Tuesday's video. Go just comment there. You can say farts are funny. That gets you in for the poser pile. I'll say we give that out in 2 minutes. And I want to see if we missed any other comments really fast, but I gave Golden Collectibles a good wave. We talked about Taylor's concerns. Pop-Tart Timmy said AM equal
right.
bum. I agree. We've been trying to get AM in for a hot minute. Banner of War. That book last week would have been in my top 5 if I would have had the time to record a book. That I think Banner of War Alpha did a great job not just playing with the long-term history of conflicts between Hulk and Thor, but then like the 3 art styles that book took on to show off the fight. Like it had an anime feel at times, it had a video game feel at times. Like, I think that book did a lot to place things together to set up the hype for that. I have not read this week's Thor. That is, I think, the second book up on my tomorrow to read at school stack. But I think... Oh, okay. I added Jelly's phone back, and then Jelly said my power came back on, so we'll get to see Jelly's sweet, beautiful face here in a moment. And Soul,
I can't wait.
The inks on this are looking so fucking good. I can't wait to see your color choices. But this is a turtle book that...
I bet he goes with green and blue.
Oh, I see what you did there. But, yeah, I'm intrigued to check out this week's Thor, because I can see the promise in that storyline, but I could also see where it becomes odd if it gets fragmented a little bit more in every individual Thor and Hulk book.
Well, dude, I'm looking forward to the whole holy hell, I have all the power now Thor versus this new Titan Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honest to God. I mean, you're talking world breakers. I mean, that's... I'm not going to lie. That kind of gives me a little chubby. Yeah. Oh, that gunslinger. Ooh, that's sick.
Showing off that gunslinger again for, I lost his name. Oscar. All right, I'm going to pull up my random comment picker. You see me staring over at my other screen because I'm going to share from the Mac that is dying. I can see that both Taylor and Milky have gone with the farts are funny thread. That's why I love and appreciate the two of you so very much. So this is going to make Soul tiny for a second. But this week's poser pile, again, I'll show it off one more time, is the Frisson cover to Catwoman 43. And if you're like, I hate Catwoman, and you win this, then I'll keep this one. Silk number 5, the Asian Heritage Month variant. Flash 782, because my shop gave me 2 of them in my pull list. And then A Town Called Terror number 2. And I Hate This Place number 1. So you know you're getting at least 2 books that Jelly liked. I enjoyed Silk, and I haven't read The Flash yet. So you're getting a good smattering of everything. And we'll bring Jelly back in once we do this drawing. So we've got 12 unique comments. So this week's Poser Pile winner, good luck, is
If I win again, I'm actually keeping it this time. Okay,
Steve. Steve, you know what? DM me on Instagram. I'll show you the Soul Twice sketches or covers that I won in raffles that I'm like, not 100% for me. And you saw his art and you were like, hell yes. That for the second week in a row, I will give away a Soul Twice original, and his commission rate is at like $75. So there you go. Steve says I never win. You had the luck of the gator on your side today, brother. So good deal.
Gator don't take no shit.
Alright, I'm going to close this. It'll make it small on this stream. We're going to make Soul big again because we want to keep watching that turtle come together as he's adding some color.
Oh,
and now that Jelly has power...
Can we put Jelly up big for a while? I mean, that's one sexy bitch.
I like the turtle better. Sorry, Jelly.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
I feel like it was karma that it came back on at the right time because A Town Called Terror number 1 was in your top reads from April. That just from everything that we had to, we interviewed, everything we talked about in April, on our Best Reads of April show, we ran out of time because we're all old and tired. So, talk to these people about A Town Called Terror.
Let me find number 1 real quick. If you want to just give some quick thoughts about it, so I can give a good synopsis.
Yeah. So, in the same way that we kind of talked about, I Hate This Place a little bit, where it's got some Stillwater vibes. It's got little elements of a man goes back home, and as you slowly learn over the first 2 issues, it's a town that may be dealing with some issues about whether or not it's the Hotel California and whether or not people can come in or out. I will say that right now, as I think about books that are in the running for my cover of the year, I would definitely put issue number 1 and 2 hands down in that. Like, when I looked at issue number 1 on my pull list video, I was like, are those creepy eyes in the background? Hell yeah, they are. That there's just this spooky paranormal presence over the town. And then you get the same kind of thing with like this kind of pieced together like ogre, bear, animal looking thing in the background. That I really feel like, we play with the cliche of never judge a book by its cover. That this is one that I think the cover very accurately sets the stage for all of the spooky things that are going on in this book. And Steve said, hell yeah, I want those spooky books. So I'll see if I have an extra Town Called Terror #1 that I can add, unless you have one, Steve. And then I'll see if I have some other spoopy things that I can add to throw your way. The other thing that I will vamp about for a minute while we wait on Jelly to find issue #1 in his freshly lit domicile is that we are 10 subscribers away from hitting 1250. So if we hit that number, I will activate the video giveaway process for 1250, where we are giving away a Blacklight Spider-Man Pop Tea combo, a Blacklight Evelyn Masters of the Universe Pop Tea combo, and right now 2 Spider-Man slabs at 1250. The other thing, and I posted this in Discord today, if you've looked at my Twitter presence lately, I've basically been giving just a massive sloppy hand job to NFTs as a thing. And yeah, I've become somebody who's intrigued by NFTs. Sorry. But I have a tweet pinned to the top of my profile, where if you comment on it, the whole follow me, retweet it, and tag somebody, I'm giving away one of my Crypto Cave Club NFTs. And that is an NFT that has some gaming utility, that they're building a Clash of Clans style game that right now you can either mint one for like $35 or pick one up from the floor for like $55. That you can get one for me for free $99. Jelly, have you found things, or do I need to keep randomly vamping about stuff? Or I'll look at souls that we're getting good. We got a good blue on the bandana from Leonardo. I really like how we get kind of that blue bleeding into the white on the epaulettes on the katana, the sword. What the fuck is that thing called? The sheath. The epaulettes on the sheath that hang over his chest. I like the coloring on that, but we're starting to get some of the green on Leo here. So again, I'm totally addicted to watching this in real time.
I have no idea what I did with it.
All right, now you got to talk about it without showing off issue #1, but when you get to issue #2, I'll show off your big sexy face.
I have it.
Did you read
If
it?
you need it. Yeah. Well, I have it digitally right here.
Oh, okay. I'll have to try to pull it up
Can we
because I
send
don't
it the link?
remember one well enough to.
Some spooky shit happened in #1. Some terrible things happened in this town.
Here, I'll put it in private.
That's all right. I'll just go for it here. Okay, let me think.
I read it too. It's a good story.
So it starts off with a guy kind of in like a, is it like a clean room, kind of a like laboratory. He's kind of walking through. There's like torsos and skeletons in this laboratory. He's got like a clean suit on with a respirator and goggles. And he's got like torsos and legs and arms, and he's just kind of like, I don't know, like it looks like he's playing with them, but he's kind of then as it kind of goes forward panel by panel, you're like, oh, I think he's putting someone together.
Yeah.
Like, and you kind of see this old guy's kind of face as he's like doing these things that's kind of clicking, like it says click, like it's clicking into place and stuff. And you see this old guy that kind of looks like the crypt keeper that's on this table, and all of a sudden his eyes open and he says, you know, like, how was my funeral? And this guy that's kind of takes off his suit, and he's kind of, I mean, he looks like Vincent Price. He's kind of like, looks like this guy's butler, and he's like, oh, you know, it was great, sir. And so then that's kind of the first scene. This guy putting together this old man. Then it kind of pans back, and you've got this, you know, like kind of colloquial tale of like the suburbs, like the beautiful suburbs. Everything's kind of, you know, looks perfect to the outsider, but to the insider, things are a little bit different. So they then show the inside of this house. There's a couple making love. They kind of are then like having pillow talk afterwards. Like,
Oh yeah, it was some Bouch Wow.
yeah, like, do you want, you know, you want some ice cream or something? And all of a sudden they kind of see these red lights through the blinds. They're like, what the hell's those lights? What's going on? And then all of a sudden the doors get kicked in. Like, these group of guys come in. They've got like skeleton masks on, guns drawn, and basically take who we find out is the husband of the group,
Yeah.
of the couple, basically then kidnap him. So they take him in a van. You know, they're racing around the city. You know, there's helicopters. There's, you know, they're taking this guy way, way, way out of the suburbs. Once they get to where they are, we see then again, here's the butler for the old guy. And the guy that was kidnapped has said, hey, whatever your name is.
Yeah, like, welcome home, sir.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I can't remember what his name, Pennyworth, I don't remember what his name is. He's like, hey, Vincent Price, how you doing? And he's like, oh, hello, you've aged. And he's like, what does my father want? Why does he need to see me? So he knows, like, this kidnapping was done on the behest of his father.
Mm-hmm.
So then this Vincent Price butler guy, I'm just going to call him the butler from now on. I can't remember what his name is. Carter. Yeah, Carter. So he's basically like, you know, Carter, what's my dad want? Why's he got me here? And he's like, oh, your father's, you know, died again, sir. And he's like, dead again, huh? Well, so the art in this is awesome. It's basically like black and white, but with like splashes of color. And it just,
it's
do
amazing.
You have it pulled up?
Yeah.
Can you show like when they get in that awesome, like old, like kind of like Cadillac with the big fins?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like all the like cool like tail light glows, and it just looks incredible.
Like, this really, truly, like, reminds me.
Oh wait, sorry. There's your screen.
Of
what's up, Scotty?
Oh, there's how we read comics when they fall off the back of a truck. There you go.
It reminds me of almost like, oh my God, what's the stupid movie? A Damon Black,
Sin City.
Sin City.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the vibe I got too.
Dude, I mean, it really.
Because it's just like the colors like just stand out so perfectly. Like,
And I love this transition right here.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
The
Where
art
he goes from the one half to the other.
The art in this book, that's what Simon Kazanskri. Kazanskri.
I don't know what else he's done, but I want to see more.
Yeah, that his use of color. Oh, he does all the art. I thought there was a colorist on this. His
he does it
use
all.
of color is absolutely insane, especially in issue 2, where you can see some of the intentional use of red.
Yes.
Scotty Sid, we are talking about issues 1 and 2 of A Town Called Terror.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you took it down to the exact moment.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just blown away by this art. Like, I just love like the glow on like these
Hey, Warlord.
like cow skulls from the taillights. And anyway,
dude, and then the ravens, the crows,
yeah, but I mean,
it just transitions into nothingness.
Well, it's like every single panel could be a piece of artwork.
Yeah,
like it is that good.
I agree absolutely on that.
Yeah. So he's now being transported back to his father's house, and he's thinking he's like, I've never thought I would be going back to this place. I thought I was gone. I thought I escaped, the family and, all these things. So they're heading back to the house. As they get closer to the house, he makes this comment that smells like sulfur and ash.
Yep.
So you're kind of like, you read that and you're like, oh man, is this like another Stillwater situation where this town doesn't exist and it's really actually hell or something like that? And then he goes on, I think he said, and it smells like desperation and sadness or something. Yeah. So they get to this town and it's called Terror. And it's got a population like, I don't know, 1,300 or something like that. They pull up to this guy's house or mansion, and it's got like a very kind of swampy, kind of deep south, like Southern Gothic kind of feel to it, and just looks awesome. And they're just all of this great artwork. And so that Carter guy starts off with, welcome home, sir. And you can tell this guy does not want to be there. He's like, fuck you. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to be here.
Stop that sir shit.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I hate this guy. And so then it kind of, after we've gotten to the town called Terror, it goes back to the suburbs. And the wife is like calling the cops. She's like, my husband's missing, and the cops are like, well, 24 hours, you can file a report in 24 hours. And the lady's like, no, men came in the house, kidnapped my husband, and this isn't like a missing person. He was kidnapped. I saw it with my own eyes. And they're basically just really apathetic with her. Like, they may even hung up on her. I don't remember. And basically, like, she's sitting there for like 24 hours watching the clock, waiting to call back to report her husband missing. So she does that, and this crusty old detective shows up, and he's like, I'm here to take a report. And so she kind of tells him the story, and he's like, well, there's no evidence of a break-in. He's like, do you have security cameras? And she's like, oh yeah, we've got it. She's like, I filmed it on my phone, and all the security cameras, her phone, all it is static for the time when he was supposed to be being kidnapped. So the guy is kind of like,
What was crazy was like, you could see when they broke in, they kicked the doors in.
Oh,
right?
They like exploded in through the, like,
right?
Yeah.
How is there no damage? Where did the damage go?
Like Exactly.
Where did the shattered glass vase go and the rose and the flower? I mean,
It's a mystery.
That's trippier to me than that was trippier to me than the guy getting his head snapped back on.
Corks back on, yeah. So basically, the cops don't care. You know, they got this this detective that looks like Morgan Freeman. Basically, comes in and it's like, you know, he's like, whatever, maybe put up some posters or something. And so the wife's just like sitting there by herself, like alone, like I have no idea what to do. So goes back to the oh no, it doesn't go back. This is the second issue. So yeah, it ends with her like just destitute, like nowhere to turn. You know, nobody believes her that her husband was kidnapped. And then him at his father's house, whose father is clearly some sort of demon or something. So that was the first issue. And it was absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing.
Issue number 2 dropped today or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, hold on. I see that Soul's done. All right, Soul, I got 2 questions for you.
Yes.
Number 1, how much?
Yeah, I knew that was going to be the first question.
My answer is my standard commission fee, which is $85, and tips get you into heaven. So whatever you want to pay over that.
Second question.
Yes.
You got another blank where you can do something similar?
What do you want?
Another Leo similar to that.
Sure, man.
Or wait, Jelly, who is your favorite turtle?
I can do Raphael. You want something similar?
I mean, that's cool. Yeah, that's dope.
Okay, I'll whip something up. You want me to do it now? Because I'm a little bit tired, actually, man.
Yeah, no, but I'll give you Steve's address. I want you to. I'll send you money for shipping. That Leo is going to Steve because Steve is a huge Turtles fan, and I'm hoping he's still in here.
Awesome, man. Thank you, man.
Because I had a good night on Whatnot, unlike last week when I got kicked in the dick.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Tonight?
Yeah, I sold Pops tonight, and
nice.
they made it rain.
Nice.
I want a raff for Jelly.
Okay.
And then you just tell me how much I owe you. But that's amazing.
Awesome.
I love
that's
how we
great.
still see it's you.
You still know it's me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
we can still see elements of the attitude, the elements of the body posture, the coloring, like just the attention to detail on that is fucking amazing.
Thank you, man.
Dude,
So,
turtles,
big thing.
dude. Who'd have thought? I'm telling you right now. You're good.
Yeah.
Turtles.
Hey, I wanted to say,
dude.
Turtles are something that I used to draw every day when I was a little kid, man. So I used to love them, and like it was something I always drew, man. But then I haven't drawn one in so long, but today it just felt natural again, man.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, and Steve's still here.
Awesome, Steve.
So-
This is going to you, man. Steve, send me your IG, man. I mean your Instagram. Send me a DM so he can get this out to you, man.
Oh, I've got all of Steve's info. But yeah, Steve,
right.
you should follow Soul Twice. There's his IG info. I'll send it to him. That'll be your Soul Twice original in the poster pile.
Awesome, dude.
Because Turtles fan to Turtles fan, I'm glad that that's going there. And then I'm glad that I had a good enough night on Whatnot where I can pay something forward back to Jelly for that fucking amazing Spider-Gwen. Because I know how much Soul doesn't like drawing women. Like,
I don't.
when we were talking about putting up a poll.
It just scares me, man.
Yeah, but we put up a poll. Like, I was talking to Soul about, hey, can we put up a poll in the Discord about what to draw? And he was like, I don't want to draw women. I'm not very good at drawing women. And then when I saw that Spider-Woman or Spider-Gwen, I was like, oh, fuck you, Soul. Like,
it's kind of funny. As soon as I say I can't do something, I try to go back and later on and be like, why did I say I can't do it when I could just like try? I could probably do okay if I try, but I got to give myself a chance, you know?
You're drawn with the
Give
chip
yourself
on
a
your
little
shoulder,
pep
but
talk and do it.
Yeah, man. All right,
yeah,
well, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I'm just a little bit tired, bro. So I'm gonna hop
go
off.
ahead.
Poser, we'll talk later, man. And J1, thank you for your compliments. Jelly, I really enjoy listening to you guys talk about the books, man. This is the way I like to draw, is actually listening to either a podcast or listening to I don't listen to music anymore while I draw because it kind of distracts me. But like hearing you guys talk, it lets my mind be clear, man. So I appreciate it. We'll do it again on Thursday, man.
Milky gives a good example of a comment we've seen pop up 5, 6, 7 times tonight.
Yeah.
Loving watching this go from Jump.
Yeah.
So I think you know what books you have, you know what books you're getting.
Check it out, man. All those were all my blanks.
Nice.
I'm just just gotta get started. Just do some stuff, man. So
Yeah,
I'm having my auction. My raffle tomorrow.
Yeah. What's going on
my
with
raffle?
the raffle? What you got?
Yeah, my raffle is gonna be $5 a spot. Buy 4 spots, get 1 free. Here are my 3 prizes. I got a House of Slaughter Scorpion. Fatality, baby. Exactly. That's my favorite guy.
I like the fatality above it.
I got a chibi Spider-Man with something else I hate to do, which is backgrounds. But I challenged myself to do a little background. Thank you, man. And my third one is my favorite is Johnny Blazin Avengers, because this is a new Avengers, Johnny Blaze. So those 3 will be 3 winners. I'll post it in the morning. Hopefully we can get it filled and run it, because I am 80% to my goal of getting a tablet, man. 80%.
And your birthday is next week?
The 27th, man. Next week is my birthday, and I think by that day I'll have enough to get it, man.
So there you go. So it's what, $5 a spot? 4 gets
$5 a spot. Buy 4, you get 1 free. There's gonna be I think 60 spots, 3 winners. Nice. So you're getting good value if you win a book, because you know how much I charge, so yeah, it's a good chance to get a sketch cover for $5, man. As much as it costs for a sketch cover.
Yeah, I'm sick all around, but I loved.
Okay, I'll put you down right now. So I got 4 for you. Hey, Poser, you owe me for last week, man.
No shit, yeah. Okay. Just yell at me and go, here's the tab, and I'll go, okay, here's the money.
Yeah, I know. That's what's fun. Like, I appreciate you guys for having me on. You guys make me feel like a superstar, dude. So I'm glad I was able to.
If we
I'm glad I was able to perform today, man.
If we get a resident artist and you become famous, then we'll be riding your coattails someday.
Exactly.
Buddy. You'd be like,
hey, man. I want to thank all the little people. I want to thank all the little people that I had to step on to get to this point. You know what I mean? That'll be me, man. I'll be like Poser. No, man. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great night. And that's it, dude. Thank you.
Go to bed, brother. Beautiful,
all right, bro.
beautiful
Thank you
tonight.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be stuck to Soul Twice's shoe. He won't be able to scrape us off.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the things that I was going to do, I was like, if there were ways that I could find to chop down shop talk, because a lot of folks who do longer live streams will do, like, digestible tidbits. I think I might just clip out...
like bookmarks and stuff?
No, not the chat. Well, I should put chapters in it.
Yeah.
But like, where
that
it's
would
like
require us sticking to some sort of a format.
Hey, tonight we were relatively focused.
That's true.
But like, you know, here's the hot takes from Shop Talk. I think I'm gonna tomorrow at school download this whole video, cut out all of the audio except for Soul Drawing, and speed it up just a little bit, and it's like you can watch Soul Twice create this Turtles cover in 10 minutes.
That's not a bad idea.
And I think that becomes a good way for him to promote his art, because, you know, when like he said last week, when we were, you know, asking him some questions at the beginning.
Did he fill up his raffle last week?
What?
Did he fill up his raffle last week?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But, we talked to him about how he got into the chibi style. We all laughed when he was like, I don't know if I can finish one thing that I inked, and then he did 3 things.
Yeah.
That I want to show that process off. Chaos says, why is Cole on the thumbnail? Because sometimes he shows up when his balls aren't hurting. And I'll leave that there just for you, Chris. Milky says he'll watch that video, so I feel like that could be a good thing to throw up. And I could even find ways to chunk it down even further for him. And just be like, hey, here's a 30-second reel of you finishing the colors on this. That he could do that because, in the same way that we've talked about our love for Max or our love for Helvetica, I love that we can look at Soul and be like, hey, you want to sit with us for an hour and a half tonight and just fucking draw? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah. Gonna draw anyway.
I'll watch that
draw
happen.
on camera.
And Dave says he loves that Ghost Rider and the turtle, so...
Oh, what did he have last week?
You loved the Red Skull last week.
Ah, the Red Skull. That's what it was. Yeah, that was fantastic. Let me see, what was I going to say?
Oh, so I pulled up League to talk about books that we may want to look at next week.
Oh, yeah.
You want to know what the community pick of the week was from leagueofcomicgeeks.com?
What?
Jurassic League #1.
What?
Wait for next week.
From last week.
Oh, from last week. So they're just cranking us the same way.
Yeah, I really feel like everybody in talking about this book is just like...
Yeah. Does it say anything underneath?
No. Just
why?
like that's the community pick, and then Grimm was the indie pick of the week.
Oh, I didn't read Grimm.
I liked it.
You know what else I haven't read? Was it Grum? That came out last week or 2 weeks ago?
I don't know what Grum is. I know what Grimm is.
Oh, I think it was Grum or something.
Grum?
Poser, check your IG, sir. You too, Jelly.
Oh, no.
We were supposed to talk about...
Did you guys see
Cover
this,
Darkness
this
this
one?
week?
The Grunch?
Grunch. Yeah,
For
I can tell you right now,
American
my LCS didn't get that one.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
I read the solicitation. It sounded cool. I don't remember what it was now.
Yo.
I like. So we can't show it. We can't share it. Yeah, check your IG, Jelly. You'll see.
I'm going to debt with that individual.
Yes.
Or that other shop
Yes.
in a state on the West Coast to buy that.
Yeah, he sent me that earlier today.
Did he? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dang.
I didn't know who he'd shared it with, but I'm like,
dude,
you're on point.
He's almost finished with it, but today he had most of it sketched. He had the face inked, and that's as far as I saw it. And I was like,
sick.
You're really good.
That with color, I might jizz in my pants.
I don't know, it's pretty damn good black and white.
Yeah. All right. In terms of next week, Bloodstained Teeth #2 comes out. I thought the first one was okay. Devil's Reign Omega. Did y'all read Image #1?
It's just Image.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
So Image #2 comes out. Think of it as Image meets Reader's Digest for 12 issues.
So is it like the Marvel Encyclopedia issues? The Marvel.
Not
No.
quite. I do remember what it is now.
Because it's some of them are individual stories. Like some of them are 6-issue stories. Some of them will come out every other month. Some of them are just art pieces that like Reader's Digest is the best analogy for this, because some of it is new storylines from existing things. Some of it is retread in the same way that like Skybound X was, where it's like, here's a little bit of extra Walking Dead lore, blah blah blah.
Okay,
but it's a big celebration of Image that
It's the best way it's Image's version of like heavy metal. Like there's a couple
double-sized heavy metal.
Yeah, like there's a couple like different stories going on. They're not. It's all not one cohesive thing. It's separate story. Yeah, Reader's Digest be a good way to say it. Like, you know,
we're all that old.
It's an anthology of stories that are going to be ongoing.
Because even if we never subscribed to it, we know what it was like to go to a library or pick up from our grandparents.
I mean, yeah, it was not my grandparents.
Ooh.
They did have some funny stories in those, though.
Oh, here's one of the books that I know is on our list for next week. Primo's number 4.
Wait, didn't Primo's 4 come out this week? No. It was next week.
Because
you know what it was? It was they had a Primo's
free comic book day.
Free comic book. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Gosh, didn't it feel like it was a long time since the last Primo's?
Yeah.
And it's only a 4-issue, isn't it?
And that's why next week is perfect to talk about it, because for as high on it as we've all been like,
yeah. We're here a lot. We're at this point a lot. How are you going to wrap this up?
I think probably the most hype-driven book of next week will be the Recount Preamble number 1. Because the Recount is that scout book of like, this is going to be an oversimplification, but like, if in 2020, when Biden won the White House, Trump supporters shot all of the Biden supporters, and they were like, it's a coup. That's kind of what this book was. The Recount Preamble goes back 6 years in the past.
Recount was so good, though.
Yeah.
I did not read the Recount.
It's worth it. And a good friend of ours,
I know,
an amazing cover for it.
I know.
I think the book that I might be the most excited about is Spectro number 1. It's one of those, what do they call it? One Shock, the Aftershock prestige size books.
So far, those have all been really excellent books.
This one is all Wando, who still may be one of my favorite artists. That the big things that you might the other Aftershock things that you might recognize him from. He's done some other Marvel and DC work, just little bits. But he was the artist on Dark Ark, the Cullen Bunn evil Noah's Ark story. His solo work, Bad Reception, came out at like the end of 2019. It was like a play on Agatha Christie's 10 Little Indians, or whatever the PC version of that is now. Those are the two that scream out to me the most. Or 3. Oh, we get Spider-Man 2. I feel like Spider-Man 2 should be on our list because both you and I were like,
Yeah.
Kind of in the same way where, like, the way we both talked about Savage Avengers today was like, here's the thing that we thought was kind of cool, but here's where it got off the rails.
Have you guys started back up with Saga?
Yeah.
I have not. I know there's another Saga coming out next week.
Yep. Saga makes me touch myself.
Yeah.
We got Devil's Reign Omega next week, so the definitive end to the event.
Oh shit, Stillwater's starting back up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
So let's say Spider-Man, because we nitpicked it last week. I'm going to save these so I don't forget.
I want to say I talked about Stillwater at one point, but it was like probably 6 issues ago.
I know I talked about the one shot that came out between volumes. The like,
didn't that just come out like a week or 2 ago?
Like 7 weeks ago, the one shot of the people who left.
They just had another one shot come out then. Unless there's a spinoff.
So we said that. We said Primos.
Did League of Geeks put an indie out for next week?
They do theirs like everybody votes by like Saturday. So like last week's pick of the week was what did I say? Grimm,
yeah.
And Stillwater. We can make those our 3 for next week. And then we can talk about other shit if we want to. Because everything else that I'm seeing are things that I'm like, it's okay, but I don't know if it'll be a good, long, productive discussion. Like Captain Carter 3. We get the new Department of Truth story arc.
How the hell did they giving Captain Carter a show already? That's all I want. I need that.
I mean, it's been planned. That's the Captain Carter, the comic book was just promotional for the show.
Oh, Legion of X.
It's sad.
Quest aside, too, I'm going to go to the bathroom real fast.
You know what else I've been reading that I like? The new Wolverine patch. The new one came out. We can talk
about that
today.
in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom, but if you want to show shit off, I can make you big before I go pee-pee in the potty like a big boy.
I don't have the book with me, but what?
Okay, well, I'm going to make you big and you can talk about it. Or we'll soul twice you.
I loved the Scotty Young cover for it. It was amazing.
Yes.
For the second issue?
No, for issue 1.
Let me look that up.
Did you miss it?
I may have.
Oh, it's dude, you know me and Scotty, but
I know.
It's sick.
I usually pick up every Scotty Young cover too. Wolverine patch.
Yeah, it's a keeper.
I can't read the. Oh, that is a good one.
Yes. By the way, beard's looking nice, sir.
Coming in, filling in. Got to have it so I can hang out with you, gentlemen.
As my daughter would say, your salt and pepper looks nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I grow my beard out, I'm like, oh, more gray hair. Great.
It's all right. My they say I have cinnamon and sugar.
If you don't have that one, DM me. I think I have 4 of the Scotty patch.
Yeah, I don't think I picked any of those up.
I think I have a spare. I can put it in your box if you need to.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh. So we can talk Patch for a minute, but if Jelly's got the yawn, that's going to be contagious across the
Oh,
three
it
of
just
us.
hit me like a ton of bricks.
I
Yeah,
wanted-
I came screaming in here from work just to jump on. So yeah, Patch. I'm digging the story. Like, there's something about it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not super fantastic, but it's really enjoyable.
It's a prequel
I don't
to his Wolverine #1.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the setting that it's in, like kind of jungle, like.
I like that it's Cold War, which because it's Vietnam, right? That's where
it's Vietnam is what I thought. Yeah.
And I like how I feel like in all of the Wolverine over time, we never got a Wolverine in Nam or Korea storyline.
Well, didn't we? What was the one when he was with Mitsuko? Was that in Japan?
I think that was either World War One,
Yeah,
or
Right?
it was prior to that.
That was like
the Shogunate era.
I thought it was
Yes.
like feudal Japan.
yeah,
and it might have been.
Yeah.
It's dude. They don't. It's not like they actually put dates and years in.
No. But this one's definitely got the Vietnam vibe, even though the bad guys are Russians. So far.
but that was Vietnam because you had the Russians on the side of the Viet Cong,
Oh, I guess suppose
and
that's
you have
true.
Wolverine Patch who's dropped in there because he doesn't know fully what he's dealing with. That he's looking for a base, and
Wait,
then it
was
becomes,
he dropped in there, or was he just?
He jumped out of an airplane in issue 1. He was like, "What's that?" Meow.
Did he? I must have missed it. I thought he was just like hiding out at this place.
No, you watch him jump out of a plane.
Okay.
Because they were in a Madripoor-esque setting
Yes.
before he ended up in Vietnam, and then he jumped out of an airplane, and there was a good guess or a good joke about him not needing a parachute. Good night, Ryan. I'm still working on your box, and I think I have some dope shit for you, so I may need your address in the by the end of the first weekend in June. I think I should have the books and the extra cash to ship something across the pond. But I liked you can tell that the Viet Cong know what's up with the mutants. You can tell that the Russians who are there, both the mutants and the little bits of Russian military presence you've seen sprinkled in.
So you know much more about X-Men than I do, for sure. Are these Russian people new characters? Is this Beth? Is there Beth? I feel like her name was Beth or something. This big lady. I don't remember seeing them in anything before.
I think the way that I've seen spec people talk about them is that they're rehashes of archetypes.
Okay.
I think one of I gotta look back at issue 1, but I think one of them we've seen by name, but not a lot of reference. So this would be like, if you wanted to spec on it, be like, this is the first appearance of some motherfucker who's going to be dead in issue 4.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm digging the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of liking her, her vibe. Like, she kind of tanky and cool. She's cool.
One, I like how, especially in issue 2, you get a bigger sense of Wolverine's take on justice, where he's like, let's talk about, like, for those of you who haven't read patch number 2, like 8 pages in, the natives who are straight up like tribal indigenous folk
Yes.
start pumping him full of arrows coated in poison, and they're like, what the fuck is happening? And he's like, ow,
Yeah.
I want to kill the Russians. And after that happens, and the Viet Cong show up and just start fucking mowing some of them down with machine guns, he's like, look, bows and arrows versus machine guns.
Yeah.
You know
that's where
what
it draws
evens up the
line.
fight? Schnick, schnick.
Yeah.
That's
is
like,
kind of funny.
That's the Wolverine that I like, where you know he's going to go rogue and do whatever he thinks is just at the time. And you get those debates of the ages of like, should he have done this? And in this moment, he's like, simple math. Bow and arrow versus SMG. Fuck you. Snick, 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 snick.
And all of the tribal people were calling the oh god, what was the ship hovering above? Good lord.
I think it's still in my backpack right here.
I don't know why I can't think of what the organization was that has the
AIM. Because that's new X-Men Big Bad.
But yeah, so they were calling them magicians and how they've done all these things for them, built them wells, and but like, if you're trying to kill the magicians, they're our friends, and you're our enemy. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, here come the guy with the guns. Oh, nope, you're our friend. Yeah, I can't think of who's got that ship that's hovering above them.
Well, it's S.H.I.E.L.D. that's up above them.
Is S.H.I.E.L.D. the magicians? Oh yeah, I get. Yeah, that's right. Because Nick Fury's up there.
Yeah, White Nick Fury, which still blows me off from the MCU.
I was really surprised when I saw him back in his little salt and pepper hair. I was like, oh, it's
old school Sergeant Fury.
Yeah.
But yeah, like fucking this panel. Assault rifles versus arrows ain't too fair.
Yeah.
And you can just see, like, that tuxedo is going to end up pink when this is all done, fellas.
Oh, yeah. And it does.
And I just feel like in the same way that I talked about Lethal Protector #1, this feels like a good adaptation of the origin material, right? Because especially in this instance where you've got the original creator of the patch Essence of Wolverine, you know, writing the prequel, that Larry Hama, I think, is doing a great job here. And in the same vein, I enjoyed and was frustrated with Venom Lethal Protector #2 at the same vein. Because you had...
I have not read it yet.
Whoever the big bad was in issue #1, was it like Humbug or something weird like that?
Yeah, it was some retread character.
But you get that plus Hydro Man. And it was fun watching Venom, like, because you get some of those moments where, like, we see Venom in or outside of a Brock in the current run. When they speak, it mostly is just mental to, you know, Eddie or Dylan. And then this, like, you get, like, the bits of the symbiote billowing out at the neck saying shit.
That's what I liked about the first issue, was how he's kind of turned into this kind of like almost seeking justice, but like,
yeah,
you know, I like the Lethal Protector role when they do those.
And you get that in this one, and I like how there's enough like shit talking, in it, like. But the problem I had a little bit by the end of issue #2, and you can imagine that I'm pushing the spoiler buttons while you see this much of my unread stack going back into my backpack for tomorrow. Like, the two villains that we see established in issue number 1 and 2 are defeated fairly quickly, in the same way where, like, in Kate's Venom run, it was like, Black Winter, Black Winter, Black Winter, Black Winter, Black Winter. Or Thor, sorry, not Venom.
Yeah, no, but it's the same
but
thing.
It was like,
with Null.
big bad.
Yeah. It's like
virus.
Super build up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has been like enjoyable nostalgia porn.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for the same reason that I pick up some of those kinds of books, I won't be fully opposed to like reading the rest of the arc. Because it's like, this Venom is different from the chaos that we're seeing in, you know, Kate's run, Ewing and Rom V's run on Venom now.
Yes, I think you just hit the nail on the head with, it's not going to be groundbreaking. It's not going to blow your mind, but it's a satisfying read. It's nostalgic. It, kind of goes back to when comics were just comics. It wasn't like
back when Venom just wanted to eat brains.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when there wasn't so much hype, over every little detail.
I would say, Biggie, knowing the kinds of things that you like to read and the kinds of things that you like to collect, that, like, I put this on my palate cleanse read, where it's like, if I want something that I know is going to be a little bit of fun, that's where I put Lethal Protector this week after, like, here's all of my big horror, here's all of my big, like, scandalous indie stuff. It's like, do I just want to watch fucking Venom eat a bunch of brains? Yeah? Let's go.
Yeah.
And it did that for me. But then it dispatched of the two villains that we saw in a very clever way. Very, very fast. So I want to see what pops up next in terms of that story.
Nice.
But I think we got the things that we want to talk about next week. We mentioned Spider-Man. We mentioned Primos. We mentioned Stillwater. We mentioned the recount preamble.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll focus on those. I'll get that thumbnail out.
I'm going to have to read the recount.
It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, you guys both seem pretty pumped about it. So.
And it's in... have I shared my digital library with you all?
I don't think so.
So one of you right now, before I forget, in our planning Discord channel should tell me to pin my digital...
Is Google Drive?
Library up there? Yeah.
Did it.
Yeah, you might have... I think you've shared folders, but I don't think you've ever shared the...
I'll share the whole thing.
Big bad thing.
But Recount was so good. In terms of the same kind of theme from tonight's show, we know that Recount has a lot of hype behind it, both from the story and it's been optioned to see how this plays out. And I think I straight up think Jonathan Hedrick is a brilliant writer and will become one of the greats. That he's not all the way in the modern greats conversation right now, but he's right on that line.
He'll get there.
I think based on the magnitude of the things that I've seen him create, he's going to be, as, our generation of reader and collectors add to the, bronze and silver pantheon. Right now, he's somebody that, based on that current trajectory, he'll be there. But yeah, I'll post that. I'll share In terms of other things that I want to talk about, I don't remember what Marvel movie we're watching on Sunday, but I might have to tell Jelly that it's movie server's job to push play because it's my anniversary on Sunday.
Oh, no problem.
And I kind of fucked up last year.
Well,
I didn't remember my anniversary until the day.
God damn, I'm getting lit up.
COVID.
don't do it again.
But I'll put together the post. We'll watch the whatever's next up after. What do we do? Dark World 2 and then fucking Generation X. So what's up after Dark World 2? Is it?
I don't know. I had to look at the list. Have you seen Doctor Strange 2 yet?
No.
God damn it. I really want to talk about that at some point.
I will see it by this time next Thursday.
Okay.
I'll make that promise.
All right.
School's
out, mofo. It's time.
Because I watched it.
I'll go watch it Wednesday afternoon. I'll leave school early and go watch a Wednesday PM showing. Ooh, yeah. I can. No. Fucking ain't. No, there is no gymnastics next week. Oh, it's Captain America and the Winter Soldier next.
I think
that's
so.
a good one.
That is a good one.
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
So it'll be Captain America and the Winter Soldier and probably like fucking Shaq Steel. Like, Jelly picked some real, like, me live tweeting taking a shit.
Isn't that the point of the second movie?
We need to get back to that, but like
so crappy that
we need to get back to the like Toxic Avenger, which was our first B movie, was a good terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Generation X last week, I felt like a victim of a hate crime.
That was terrible.
And I'm white.
There's hate crimes towards white people. It's just very rare.
So Jelly, if your job as soon as we click end broadcast is to pick your B movie terror, and I'll create the thumbnail for that to post across the next couple of days. But
I have a suggestion.
What's that?
I'm trying to find the name of it right now, dude. It is absolutely. It's superhero-ish, but absolutely terrible. Like, this little girl finds this stone that controls this, like, Lord of Darkness from thousands and thousands of years ago. And, like, as long as she holds the stone, she can tell him whatever to do. Like, dude.
Lord of the Rings 2.
Right? I'll find it. Dude, it's like, it's got a weird name.
Is it from like the early 90s?
No, it's actually much newer.
Oh, it's new. Okay.
And well, if you have nothing going on in 27 minutes, Auntie M, our Hong Kong supporter, has a premiere dropping of the Hong Kong Maritime Museum.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, she does the museum stuff.
Well, she did some tech stuff this week, too, that was actually pretty goddamn sick. That, like I said, when I saw her popping at the beginning, it's like, I'm sad that I couldn't comment on it because goddamn school has ruined my life.
Is she just Auntie M on YouTube?
I got it.
What?
Psycho Gorman.
Psycho Gorman?
It's Psycho, like you would, and then Gore, Goremam.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, man.
That does sound horrible.
It is so. It's like a modern day Toxic Avenger almost, like with the blood.
Is it campy enough?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I feel like Generation X or Gen X, Gen Next, whatever it was, it tried to be campy and failed.
Dude, picture a 9-year-old girl and she's like literally holding this stone. She's like, kill him. And it's like her best friend. And this freaking monster is like running straight at him, getting ready to rip his fucking heart out of him, right?
Oh, I'm looking at the trailer right now. It looks terrible.
Yeah, dude, it's
I
perfect.
can't wait to see it.
It's perfect.
Well, Jelly, it's your job to tell me by like
Oh, it's
9 a.m.
2020.
tomorrow morning what the B film is.
I'll have a good one for you.
And then I'll get
if it's not
the
that one.
stuff posted.
We don't have to do that one this week. We can do it like next week or the week after, but that's one
It does
that
look
deserves a slot.
But I'll get things posted. I was glad that we were able to get together again tonight, even though Jelly had come hell-bent from work. I love that 2 weeks in a row we got Soul Drawing.
I was late too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Like,
I don't have a good excuse. I literally was laying on the bed cuddling with the wife, and I'm like, "What time is it?"
that's your excuse.
And like we it wasn't doing nothing. Like we just sit there cuddling and watching TV, right? And I'm like, "What is it 9?" And she's like, "No, it's like 9:45." And I'm like, "Fuck."
Shit.
Is it Happy Miss Presser, my books cost lesser?
Right?
Ooh.
Oh God.
No, that's fine. Well, and I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't post a stream. So tomorrow I'll post next week's stream and then post things to be like, set a reminder because we're all old and busy and jobs and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the things we've got for next week. I'm excited to see what Soul comes up with. I'm excited to send Steve and Jelly some turts. And then I'll see if Soul can draw me Scotty Young's big black cock to send to J1.
I kind of love that idea.
Add it to the wall.
A venomized chibi Scotty Young big black cock. That'll be our season finale.
Could we
Where
do
it's
that?
like Shop
That
Talk
would-
needs to take like 4, 5, 6 weeks off. That's when
We
we
need to
just
take
have
4, 5,
full
6
screen, sold
6 weeks
twice.
off to figure out Dick Fight Island.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I need to keep working on that tomorrow.
Dick Fight Island. I just found out. There's a fucking show that's something like that. I've got to find it. I'm not joking. I yes, and it's not like it's a dirty porn or something like that. I mean, it's an actual freaking yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and set this now. Not for Dick Fight Island. Because an artist has to work.
An artiste.
Thursday, June 2nd, in 2 weeks, is Anime Night in the Poserverse.
2 weeks. Okay.
Can I pick one of them?
Well, the idea behind it was pitch an anime to comic book fans. So the goal, like, I know this is easy for you. Jelly knows more about anime than I do, and I'll be like, if you like giant shit, fucking read Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find something that's kind of new. That just, yeah, I don't like all the school kids stuff. Like, it just seems so cliche. Where it's like, oh, good.
So you didn't enjoy the one I sent you? The Ready 5 minutes, Ready 5-minute fight, or whatever it was called. Oh God, what is it called?
Yeah, 5-minute fights or something like that. I don't think I started that one yet.
Are you? I thought you did. Somebody started watching it, and they watched 10 episodes of it.
It might have been me. I may have fell asleep.
Oh.
Does One Punch have a pirate in it?
Yeah, One Punch is the pirate.
I read or watched some of that. I don't remember.
If we want a good one, right? That like I think most people would truly enjoy, that sci-fi fantasy kind of thing that like actual comic book people would enjoy, and we want to skip episodes and just watch a movie, right? If we want to do something like that,
that could be our movie
Yeah.
night for the 5th. But I think as Jelly and I were talking about it, think of it as a wine pairing. If your main course is the comic book you like, what is the wine pairing anime you would offer? So like each of us go, if you're like if I was like if you're a fan of X-Men, you'll like this one.
I like that.
And I think that one, since I've put us on a 2-week timeline, and I'll come up with some kind of weird like timeline that I think we can chat on the back end and be like, here's the ones that I'm going to talk about, so we're all not like, you should watch, like, if you like robots, you should watch Gundam. If you like robots, you should watch Gundam. If you like Japanese things, you should watch Gundam.
Yeah. If you like Transformers, watch Gundam.
Oh, damn, there went my suggestion. But we got our books for next week. June 2nd.
Got our
anime night.
Yep.
Yeah, you've got.
I like that.
Excited about that.
I'm excited about that too.
I always enjoy the show, but you've got me excited about this now.
Yeah, that's one of those things like, as if you look at my Twitter feed, I've been getting drunk more and more on NFT things just because I like the tech side of it. Mm-hmm. And everything has been like, if you like X, you might like Y. And I'm like, I do like X and Y.
I do like that.
So I like the idea of, if you collect, read, watch, consume different things, like, here's another community for you. If our goal is to find more ways to bring more people in to make fun of us for the way that we talk about shit, and it's like, we like spooky books.
Yeah.
Here's our Dick Fight Island radio play. Like, my goal for, what would it be, July... Yeah, my goal for July 7th will be to have the Dick Fight Island radio play done, where we might just have to find, like, with Jelly, his weekend schedule will be the most difficult, but it's like, okay, where's 3 hours we have to sit together
July
and do
7th,
Reader's Theater of Dick Fight Island. But... that's my self-imposed goal of what, like 5.5 weeks now to turn the first trade into a radio play that I hope we're all titillated.
Oh. Hey, are we going to do the California broadcast there, buddy?
When is that again?
July 14th.
July 14th?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in my calendar. And since we've all been trying to bully KM into doing this to see if his bum ass will drag AM along, I can work on that too, but I've got that as a note on my calendar. We'll see if I can sell my whole Secret Wars 8 with 2 signatures that needs to be sent to CBCS and other things. I would love to join you all in there, even if it's not for the full weekend, like in and out across 2 days, that I'll fly home with a hangover and vomit on the flight home.
Well, I think, what are we, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and then I might stay an extra day, but stay with Tyson.
Okay.
He told me I could crash there, and I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, you can crash for a night. I'm like, that could be a fun night.
I've got a note on my calendar. I'll ask my wife, and she'll be like, how the fuck are you paying for it? And the answer will be, please buy my tings. So
Buy
I
my-
can go drink with my friends and we could
Come
all have a
buy my
show from
shit.
AMKM Comics that we could do shop talk from one camera in the shop.
It'd be a blast.
I'm guessing Friday night there's gonna be a lot of pictures you're gonna want to have on your cell phone.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be the best.
That's when we get
No.
Gorkum nice and drunk.
That will be a what happens in San Bernardino stays in San Bernardino.
God no, man. I want pictures because I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah.
I want to remember doing body shots off of fucking Poser.
Look, the last month I've been topless on enough streams that I wake up the next morning, I'm like, oh, I did what?
Did I keep my clothes on?
Like on my birthday, I went live on Instagram for like an hour and a half and woke up on the floor and came down 2 days later and there was purple on the side of some short boxes and I was like, oh, I yacked some blackberry fucking
moonshine.
on that. And part of it was like, there's a little bit of vomit, and then part of it was like, did you just drool and spill on that? Like, it was, I'm gonna die. And I don't need pictures to remind me of that.
Well, too bad. There's going to be a lot of pictures.
Yeah, dude. I won't lie. I'm gonna bring my GoPro and just strap it to my fucking chest.
J1 body cams, the whole experience.
Yeah, live
what
stream.
happened? Go to the body cam. And J1's
Dude,
like,
just it's gonna be right here. You're gonna be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm an Iron Man fan.
I hope you have enough battery in your GoPro for like most of the night, the arrest, and maybe some of the trial.
he'll have his GoPro.
I got 100
and then one of those 8-feet chargers to a fucking Rambo style belt across the waist and the chest.
So I do have 128
lithium
gig
ion
memory stick, and then I have I've got a good sized battery pack that I can run straight to it.
Be able to do some B-roll.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, on
that note,
Here you go, Poser.
be prepared for some debauchery in T-minus 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Poser, get jealous.
And as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by. I need to get mine regraded, you son of a bitch. And have a good one.
Love you all.